All right, part two of our referee series. We're here with Jimmy Shaw. He's the head honcho of the Northern Tier sector of the Referee Association.
Well, I'm actually the rules interpreter.
Rules interpreter.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this for?
Officiating football?
Yeah.
High school football since 1980. Small fry pee-wee. I started in 78
Wow.
in Sayre and Waverly. I refereed with Jack Twilliger, a legend, passed on, God rest his soul, legend up in New York State. Dick Chilson, another legend, was passed on. I would do 4 pee-wee games a week, 2 in Waverly with Jack Twilliger and 2 with Dick Chilson at Sayre, small fry, when I was in high school, when I was a junior and senior in the fall, because I didn't play. My dad wouldn't let me play because I was too small. And so and my dad was an official, my uncle was an official, and all my 5 brothers, we all officiate because my dad wanted us to give back the people that volunteered their time when we were kids, little league, basketball, football. So that's what I did.
So how many years is this going to be for
So
you?
44th year in high school.
44th year in high school football. So the number one question for me to you is, how has high school football changed since you started 44 years ago?
I think there was more respect then for officials, players and coaches, and we respected them more. Plus, it was a physical game then, as you know, when you played. Probably everything was run. Now it's evolved because because coaches go to coaches clinics,
7-on-7
college. They go to clinics and it filters down from NFL to college to high school, and the rules do too. So usually, like if college puts in a new rule, about 3-4 years later, high school puts in
like a trickle down effect.
Trickle down
3-4
effect.
years.
Yep, 40-25 second clock.
Yep.
So everything back then was 25 second clock. Another thing is, after a kickoff, the clock would start on the ready for play instead of the stamp of the ball. So games would get over faster back then. Even though it's 12-minute quarters, now the clock doesn't start until the ball snapped on a kickoff and changed possession.
Do you think the change in the mercy rule has helped that a little bit though? Like even it out some?
I like the mercy rule, and I also officiate football in New York State, and we do not have the mercy rule up there.
It must be painful.
It's no one gets anything out of that when it's 70 to nothing.
70 nothing and you got
At
4 and a half left. Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. Like they could score literally 100 points, more than that if they wanted to. You know?
So, to my knowledge, since they put the mercy rule in National Federation High School, it's 35 points in the second half. No one's ever even came back and tied the game, never mind won it, because it's 4-12. It's 2 12-minute quarters, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't start till the third quarter.
Yep.
And in college and pros, they play 15 minutes, so teams could come back.
Yep, exactly.
If we see like the Jaguars and the Bills or whatever it was. So.
That's an anomaly though. That's,
Yes.
Like on the average, 99.9% of them, when it's 35 nothing, put a fork in them, they're done.
So the mercy rule is good. So, because when you're getting beat that bad, you're frustrated. We still got to officiate the game the same way, especially safety. It gets chippy, right? When you're getting beat that bad, no one likes that. It's no fun. And we got to keep control of the game.
And both sides want it to be over. Let's face it. Like you see both sides. The people getting beat that bad want it to be over. The people winning by that much. And there's nobody getting anything out of it on either side.
No, but it is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Because like I said, I experienced it in both states, and mercy rule is definitely needed, in my personal opinion.
Now, do you have any idea how close New York is to making the mercy rule a thing up there?
I do not. I wish I did, but I don't.
Yeah. How different is New York from Pennsylvania, like the politics of officiating?
Well, it's not that. For example, we use 6-man for varsity football down here. They use 5-man.
Okay.
We use 7-men for playoffs. They usually use 5 or 6. Last year they finally went to 6. So as the game has evolved, throwing, spread offense, hurry up, you need more officials, right? And plus we get older, the players get younger.
Yeah.
And my opinion, 6 and 7-man, it helps you train newer officials, but it also extends the career of older officials like myself. So that's the one main difference. And the pay scale is different. I'm not going to say what the difference is, but we do get paid more in New York than we do in PA.
Yeah, and there's some places that in Pennsylvania pay Pee Wee more than they do varsity. It's because they want quality.
They want
officials,
certified officials, yeah.
And that's a few places here and there.
And that's also a good training ground for us. A lot of our newer officials started in Pee Wee and refereed with us, certified guys.
Kind of like a minor league. And then
we teach
graduate up through.
Yeah, do Pee Wee, do junior high. When I started, there was no such thing as junior high. When you were in high school, there's no junior high sports. It started, 90s?
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
And that was the first year to have Pee Wee football in Towanda, and I think that was like 70 or 83, I think. 82 or 83 was the first year we had Pee Wee midget.
Yeah, we were in the travel league with Williamsport, right? Yeah. I used to officiate those games.
In Blossburg and all
Yes.
that. We used to have travel quite a bit. And then after I had got a little older, it really got bad because they were traveling all over down to Hazleton and all over.
And then they finally started the Northern Ontario Youth Football League, which is good
Yep.
because they're not school affiliated, but they kind of are, and it's good for kids. They have the opportunity to play, and like I said, it helps us train officials.
Absolutely.
And there's a shortage of officials nationwide.
So
That's why we play Thursdays and Saturdays now.
So when you get a new official hired, I mean, you're probably throwing him right into varsity games right away because there's no excess of the referees.
Yeah, well, like when I first started, we used 4 men on a varsity game, and we used 2 or 3 on JV, and guys like I said, Dick Chilson, Denny Thomas, Bob Jasari, Jimmy Arnold, legend from Canton. Guys did it 50 years. We have a guy now, Ed Day, been 50 years. There's Floyd Williams, Joe Thompson, a bunch of guys, Nate Williams even, been in it a long time. But it helps us to be able to train them. But it has happened in the last 4 years in our group where you pass the test and you get thrown into varsity. We have it in volleyball, we have it in basketball.
Now over the 44 years, would you say the quality of football is better today or 40 years ago? If you were a fan watching, do you think somebody in a time machine would want to come back and watch 40 years ago, or would they want to watch today?
I think they want to watch today.
Because it's a lot more exciting, for the most part.
Kids are younger, stronger, faster.
Absolutely.
There's weight training.
Quality of athletes.
There's camps and stuff. They didn't have that when you and I
No,
were.
we didn't have weightlifting.
Yeah.
So
I think they would like it now. But it would be nice to see. You can't compare eras, right?
No. So I've talked to a bunch of people around the state because of what I do, and I noticed this year the referees are really buckling down on knee pad stuff.
Yes. So our state interpreter named Dave Blair, he wants us concentrating on uniform problems, like you were saying, the things where the points of emphasis, we're covering the knees because they watch college and they think can't have the second dangling mouthpiece. You only can have one mouthpiece. The knees got to be covered. The t-shirt's got to be tucked in, and the jersey's got to be tucked in. They watch it. High school kids watch Saturdays and think it's allowed, and it's not. He put a point of emphasis on it. He's a college official as well. What they see on Saturday is not allowed on Fridays in high school. So he sends out a weekly bulletin to us, and he just complimented officials around the state about cleaning up the uniform rules. That's a point of emphasis this year. So every year there's like 4 or 5 points of emphasis, but one constant in my career, I officiate basketball, baseball, softball, is sportsmanship is a point of emphasis every single year for the last 20 years at least. And then the other one's sports specific. Formations this year is a point of emphasis in football. But that guy, the state interpreter Dave Blair, sends a weekly bulletin out about trends or what he wants us to do or not to do. It's a great thing because it helps us be better. Back when I first started, there was no such a thing.
No.
And
now it's kind of like if you buy a Mountain Dew here, it's the same as if you went to Southern California and bought a Mountain Dew. It's the same product, which you guys are making the same product from the northern border to the southern border of PA. And that's all you can expect. Consistency wherever you go play.
Yeah, the adage they have is one rule, one interpretation. Trying to get it standardized so football's the same as, like you say, in California, Texas, Florida, New York, PA. if you're a national federation school, you play by federation rules, and it should be officiated the same way. But we're all individual humans, right?
Yeah.
So
interpretation is a big word.
yes, it is.
We could go into that, but
Yes, it's like the law, right?
Yeah.
Judges interpret the law, right?
Yeah. So, in your 44 years, like I was telling Rich, I played college football, and I remember 4 tackles I didn't make. I couldn't tell you a single tackle I made, but I can tell you the 4 I didn't make. Do you have 3 or 4 calls that you blew that stick out, and you're like, man?
Yeah, I had the dreaded inverted whistle, but it kind of wasn't. Tawana and Sayre in the 80s at Sayre, I was the head linesman and I threw a pass and it hit an ineligible lineman, but it's not a foul if it accidentally hits him. And the ball went incomplete and I blew the whistle and they said I should have waited till the ball. That was a little premature on the thing.
But that's pretty good. That's stuck in your craw since the 80s, so that's a big one.
I just said to our guys last night, we ref the game in Tawana last night, I said, you only get good at officiating, there's an adage, that you master it, if it's possible, by making every mistake in the book and not doing it again, learn from it.
Absolutely.
I just said that to our guys during a timeout last night.
But that's life.
Yeah, that's life.
If you keep making the same mistake over and over again, they call that insanity.
Yeah, the definition, if you're expecting different results. So I think that would stand out, but there's so many games, Lindsay. That one sticks out to me.
Like,
another play, it wasn't a call, but when the fumble Ruski used to be legal, Tawana ran it right here at Troy.
I was coaching for him.
And got the winning touch. They didn't score on the play, but it went down.
Got us down to like the 12-yard line.
Yeah, and now that rule's illegal. It was legal, then illegal, then legal, now it's illegal.
Yeah.
So things like that change over time, right?
Kind of like salt. It's good for you, it's not. It's good for you, it's not. I mean,
Depending on who your doctor is, right?
How do you go from coaching, like we're here at Troy today, how do you get like to a playoff game, and then have you ever had a state championship game?
I've not had a state championship in PA, but I have in New York at the
Okay.
Carrier Dome in 2019. That's where the New York State Finals were played.
Yep.
I was head linesman and I did a state championship game there, but I've never had one in PA.
But if you get one in PA, you'll really be a unicorn, because how many people that ever refereed can say they did one in New York and PA?
That'd be nice. Whoever the powers to be are. I'll go to Hershey at Cumberland Valley anytime, any place.
How do you get to that point where your name gets in the hat to be qualified to go to do a state championship?
Well, we have a district interpreter. His name's Kerry Latcha, great guy. He's a district interpreter. So the chain of command, to answer your question, chain of command is chapter interpreter. That's what I am. If any coach has a rules question, they're to contact me, so we have that one consistent message. If I don't have an answer, I go to the district interpreter. If he doesn't have an answer, then he goes to Dave Blair, the state interpreter, and then we get an answer, and then I bring it back to whoever brought it up to me, either our group of officials or a coach. So that way you don't have 24 cooks
spoiling the stew.
Yeah. So then you're evaluated, and the further you go, you're evaluated by an observer, usually retired officials or senior officials, and then that's how you progress.